This is just delicious. You know, nothing better than having a meal that's easy to prepare, one pot, not a lot of mess, not a lot of work. This one is going to go in my easy weeknight meals because it just wasn't a lot of work and it's really a complete meal. So please enjoy this. Do me a favor, if you like my contents, please subscribe, click the bell so you get notified when I post new videos. Please also click the thumbs up on this. Those like buttons really help me in placement in the search results. Also, if you would, drop a comment in the comments box. And if you would, take a look at the description box at some point. There's some links in there. A link to my website where I sell my recipes. There's also a link to Wildgrain and to Chef's Temp. Those are some neat products that, well, I don't get sponsored by them. However, I do get a commission if you use those links and purchase their products. So take a look at that. If you like it, if it's what you need, go with it. Now, let's get into this. It's good food. Looks like I've got everything measured out. I've been working lately on putting together the perfect chicken and rice dish. So that's what I'm about to show you. Oh, by the way, this is Texas Cooking Today. I'm Stuart. Hey, welcome to my kitchen. And today it's chicken and rice, and it's going to be a fantastic recipe. This is something I've worked on over a period of time to get it just right. And then my last try on this was really good. It showed me I was headed the right direction. And so this is my new chicken and rice recipe. I hope you enjoy it. Come on over. Let's take a look at the ingredients and we'll get busy cutting this up and cooking it up. It's not very difficult. Come on. So the ingredients that I have for our chicken and rice, I have chosen for this to use the thigh. You could use a mixture of chicken if you wish, but I'm going to recommend that you go with a boneless, skinless chicken. I like the thigh because it's got plenty of fat. It's dark meat, it has a lot of flavor involved, and it makes a dish like this very rich and wonderful. Plus what we're going to do to it. Also, I have a nice yellow onion here, some broccoli, carrots, rice. Now I have here, this is basmati rice, folks. I really recommend basmati for this dish. I recommend it for a lot of dishes for many reasons, but this one's real important. It's a low starch rice and it doesn't stick together very well. So it's naturally kind of loose and flowing. It is perfect in a dish like this. For that, I'm using some chicken broth. So I've got here also lots of spices, salt, garlic powder, onion powder. I have some thyme, mustard, and this over here is cumin and sage. So my spices all lined out and ready to go for this dish. Very easy to make dish. Now all I have to do now is just cut the vegetables, cook some chicken, mix it together and put it in the oven. Now as far as prepping my vegetables goes, all I'm going to do is I'm going to peel these carrots. You don't actually have to do this, but I just kind of like to clean them up for myself. And then I'm going to dice these out. I'm going to dice that onion out, and the same thing on the broccoli. We all just want small pieces throughout. So easy to do. Go ahead and get yours all prepped, and I'll show you the rest in a little bit. Okay, so I have them all prepped out now. To finish cutting these, I just need some small pieces. Now for this part of the carrot, the tip of them, I usually just do some simple cross cuts. The upper part though, I'm going to quarter it. All right. Now the very last part of our prep, before we get busy cooking this, I want to take all of my chicken and season it lightly, okay? I'm not looking for a heavy coating of anything on it. So actually I should start with the back side up. And what I used here was a total of 4 chicken thighs, 8. I'm sorry, I can't count anymore. A total of 8 chicken thighs. Some of them were bigger, some were a little bit smaller. That's okay, it all came out just fine. So, a nice arrangement. So for this, I just want very light on the salt. Because remember, we're putting a little bit of salt down in the dish itself, okay? So we don't want the whole thing over salted. And if I put too much on the chicken, it will be. Now the next thing, I'm using a simple seasoned pepper. And it is flavorful, let me tell you. I like to use this because it just brings the dishes alive. Okay, there we go. And I want to do the other side the exact same way. Right now I have a high flame underneath my, on my center burner, underneath this pot. Now you're going to need something wide on bottom, okay? That'll hold quite a bit of food, because this is going to be filled about halfway or more with chicken and rice, okay? There's going to be a lot in here. So what we have to do to make this dish wonderful, we've done all of our cutting and measuring. Everything is ready to go. All we have to do is focus on the cooking. Now, when it comes to doing this, take your chicken and pan sear it. Don't try crowding all of the chicken in there at once. Do 3 or 4 pieces at once. Pan sear it so it's nice and starting to brown on each side. Then take it out and put it in this bowl. This does not have to cook fully. It just needs to be browned on both sides. We're trying to get a little flavor in the bottom of the pot and a little flavor on the chicken before building our dish in the oven. The other thing, go ahead and preheat your oven at 350 degrees. All right, my pan has come up in temperature. And folks, the way you check that is put a little bit of water in there. Not with the oil in it. No, that'll create a big mess. When it's still dry, put a little water in it. If the water beads up and just skates around and does not sizzle off, it's hot enough. But if it sizzles off, it ain't hot enough. This is one of those times I'm going to recommend you use a fry screen. It's a wonderful little device that cuts down on how much spatter you get. All right, now that's what I'm talking about. A little bit of brown on both sides there. And I just have a bowl right over here to set these in. I'm getting a little bit of build-up brown in the bottom of my pan. That's the golden ticket. That's what we're looking for right there. Okay, now these are pretty much where I need them to be. There's those little ones. Put them down in here. There's some little pieces. That one can cook a little more, but it's fine. Now here's the thing. In the bottom of the pot, look at that. We got all of this, what we call a fond. Okay, that's what chefs call a fond. And it is nothing but pure flavor, ladies and gentlemen. Pure unadulterated flavor. We're stacking flavors. We got this chicken flavor. We have the chicken broth flavor. Now we have the caramelized chicken flavor, and it builds huge, incredible deliciousness. Now I'm going to put this in there, and we're going to whisk in all of our spices and rice and veggies. And just pour that in all at once. And that's going to partially deglaze that bottom. The rest will happen during cooking, if it doesn't happen right now. Now let's go ahead and just get all of our spices right down in there. About 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Remember, your chicken had some salt on it, so you don't want to over salt this. And often broths and chicken stocks will have some sodium in them. So look at that label. You might have some there. Okay, now that we have the spice mixed in, all I have to do is add in the rice. And this is still over the high temperature. So everything is heating up. There's all of our veggies getting all in there. Just get it nice and stirred around so it's kind of good and even. That way each spoonful yields an even amount of each item. That's a good thing to do. Okay. Now, this is where we have some fun. We just take those chicken, and I'm going to put it with the big piece towards the outer edge. In other words, there's a small side and a big side on these, and I want to put that big side around the outer edge. And I'm going to work them just in a circle. Now remember, these chicken thighs, they are not fully cooked, folks. They're partially cooked, okay? We've done what we call par cooking, which is partially cooking something. Yeah, I know, strange, right? Now, I've got this juice down in here, and that juice, every bit of it, right on top, nice and even. There we have it. It's already starting to come to a boil. My oven is already preheated. All I have to do here is put a lid on this, put it in the oven, give it 45 minutes to an hour. We'll check it with a thermometer, make sure it's the right temperature down in there. The rice will be fully cooked at that point, and so will everything else. My oven is preheated to 350. There we go. 45 minutes to an hour. Roughly. Okay, so I'll be checking that in about 45 or 50 minutes with my thermometer and taking a look at it. If it's looking good, then I might take the lid off of it to get extra browning, or just serve it as it is. So we'll take a look at it and know later. Okay, I mentioned in about 45 minutes I'm going to be checking it with the thermometer. And something I want to mention, in every kitchen you need a chef's thermometer. Okay, I've got a couple of different kinds in here. These things are invaluable. They tell you if your food is safe. They also tell you if things are cooked the right way, if you need more cooking, or if maybe you need to use less cooking. They really open up your world a great deal. So take a look in my description box. You'll find a link to this one. This is the chef's temp. It's really cool. The display will rotate, and you set this. As the display rotates on that, it's always right side up. It has also got a self-charging thing where all you have to do is plug in your USB cable and you're up and charging on this. All right, and it comes with a cable to do that with. It's got a lit display. Very neat. Okay, so go ahead, get yourself a chef's temp thermometer. You're going to love the thing. And there is also right down there a link for Wildgrain. And Wildgrain is this really cool it's a really cool product. They have sourdough breads, pastas, and pastries, and delicious stuff. I've been using them for months, and I'm really impressed, and I'm sure you will be too. It's just a monthly subscription thing. It's very convenient, and you get to change up stuff on your list however you want it. So they'll allow you to do that, and that's all done on their website. So click that link. I do make a commission if you click either of those links and decide to buy, and I do appreciate you doing that. Other than that, I make no money off of them for this video whatsoever, so they're not sponsoring it or anything. They're just a link I put down there for that, and now you know what's going on. So anyway, 45 minutes, we'll take a look with our handy dandy thermometer, and we'll know what to do from there. So there you have it. We've been doing quite a bit. There wasn't a lot to do on this, but a few things, you know, some cutting and some cooking. And as you've seen, it wasn't just a whole lot of work. We're going to take a look at the end product in just a minute, but I want to tell you the ingredient quantities. What I started with today was almost 3 pounds of thighs. And really, on this dish, it's kind of about balance when it comes to the amount of chicken. So I'm going to recommend somewhere between 2 to 3 pounds of chicken for your dish. All right. I like a little more chickeny dish, so I wanted more. And this was actually 2 pounds, 14 ounces that I used. half of an onion, a piece of broccoli about the size of a man's fist, 2 medium carrots, all that diced up as you've seen, and then 1 cup of basmati rice to 2 cups of chicken broth. On our spices, the garlic and onion powder, that's 1 teaspoon each. On the sage, oh excuse me, not sage, this is thyme and mustard. On the mustard and thyme, that's 1 teaspoon each. So 1 teaspoon. On these two, it's a half a teaspoon on that sage, and on the cumin, 1/2 teaspoon each, and 1 teaspoon on the salt, plus a little light sprinkle on the chicken as you've seen that we've done. So not a real tough thing to do here. All we need to do is take a look at the finished product now. And I am hungry. All right, I have just pulled this from the oven. Oh, look at that. Now this is the point, if you wanted to put it in there for a little browning, you can, or you can leave it just like this. I think it's just fine the way it is. So that's the way I'm going to leave it, just like that. But one thing I want to mention, we're needing a temperature of around 185 or higher. Okay, got 195 there, 199, 200. So we're doing fine here. I just don't want any cold spots. I don't want anything that reads. So as you can see, we have the right temperature throughout. I'm going to let this rest for just a moment while I get my plates and everything, and it's not going to hurt it. It'll keep warm. Now, this is a 1 pot deal, the whole meal in a single pot. Easy to do. All right, it is time I get this served up. Nothing like a meal that can be cooked up quick and easy and in the oven like that without it being any kind of difficulty at all. And then you end up with something fantastic. All right. First, some broccoli and rice. Ooh, carrots and onions. All the goodie in there. Isn't that beautiful? Now, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is a perfect chicken and rice. I think I want just a little more. There we go, a little piece of chicken there. Delicious. Let me tell you, that combination of spices makes a really, really good chicken and rice. Impossible to beat. The delicious flavors here, the tender chicken, it's moist. Folks, the total cook time, that was 45 minutes, okay? And it, as you see, beautiful meal, didn't take a whole lot of work. The majority of the work was just cutting some vegetables and searing a little meat, and that's not much work. So give this a try, you're gonna love it. Do me a favor, if you enjoyed this content, subscribe, click that like button also. When you subscribe, if you would, click the bell, and that way you get notifications when I put out new recipes. Also, if you enjoy this and you have something to say about it, or if you have any comments or suggestions, use that comments box. Believe it or not, I do read those. Thank you very much for watching. Folks, please enjoy your chicken and rice and have a good night, okay?